What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Joe's Card Stash. And today we're going to be talking about a new grading company. We're going to be talking about Tag Grading. These guys are doing some really cool stuff. You know, they're pushing into the grading realm. They're taking on PSA, they're taking on BGS, they're taking on SGC, and they have a bunch of innovative ideas that I'm really excited about. And the only reason I know about these guys is because my friend Lil B, who has a YouTube channel called The Corner Kid, it's a UFC card channel. Make sure you subscribe to it. I've mentioned him before, but I'll link it below. Great channel. And he partnered with Tag, did this challenge, basically. He calls it Tag Your It. And basically, he tags another, YouTube creator like myself and says, hey, you get a card graded, I'll get a card graded, the same card, and whoever gets the higher grade will pay for the other person's submission. So yeah, he tagged me, and he got a card graded, a Casey O'Neill, and I got the same card graded, so we're gonna see who won that challenge. After he challenged me, I looked into Tag and got really excited about some things they're doing, so I decided to have another 5 cards graded, and I'm gonna talk about those. I'm gonna do a whole review on their process, what I think about their slabs, what do I think about their pop reports, which are incredible. So it should be really interesting. Hopefully you guys like it. Make sure you like this video, like it right now before you forget. Also, comment, let me know what you think about these guys, if you think you would grade with them. That's it. Yeah, subscribe, obviously. Yeah, make sure you subscribe. If you like UFC cards and you are not subscribed, please subscribe. I promise you, you will like this channel. And yeah, that's it. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's talk some UFC cards. For this first section, I am just trying to find out if I can beat Lil B, if I can, beat the score that he got. He picked a Casey O'Neill Select Rookie Blue Disco Octagon Sides. Really beautiful card. I'm a big Casey O'Neill fan. He is too, although I think it might not just be her fighting that he likes. So yeah, he got his graded. I'll show you the clip now to show you the score he got. Here's the clip.
And our score is a 7.5. Yeah. Yikes. It's fine. And Joe, you have to beat this, and we hope you get a 1.5.
That's going to be a pretty easy one to beat, I feel like.
Maybe.
He got a 7.5. Now, in the realm of things, that's a pretty low score. I'm feeling pretty good right now. I don't have to get that high of a score to beat him, and he's got to pay for my grade. So let's just open it up and see what we got. And like I said, this part of the video is really just about the challenge. During the next segment, I'm going to talk way more about Tag and like what the process is like getting your stuff graded, what I think about the slabs, all that stuff. This is just me checking out to see if I can beat a Lil B. So here we go. As you can tell, your stuff comes in this beautiful box. I am gonna cut this. Jeez, wow, that is no joke. Tape that they use. Okay, so I'm gonna open this. Get this really, I mean, their packaging is incredible. I mean, damn, look at this stuff. So you get this really cool box. Okay, and then inside the box, you have an individually wrapped slab. So the cool thing is, if you want to do a blind reveal, if you don't want to know the grades of your cards, you don't have to see them, and you get this, individually wrapped slab, which is cool because with PSA, when you get your slabs, they're all just bundled together, and it's really easy to see what you got and to mess up the blind reveal. So this is a much better way to do it. So I have no idea what this grade is. I'm just going to open it and see, and hope I can beat a 7.5. So come on, let's go. All right, let's see. Goodness gracious. All right. Let's see, I'll cover up the grade right there. And there we go. Casey O'Neill, Blue Octagon Side Disco. And I got a Tag 9. I beat you. So yeah, I beat Lil B. So as you notice, the label itself is kind of etched into the slab. So with a white background, since it's white, it kind of just disappears. But that's something I like. I think labels are really distracting for the most part with every other company. And these, it's kind of like invisible ink. Like, you can look at the card, because that's what it's about, is seeing this card. But if you need to see the grade, you just kind of do that, or you put it in front of something black, and you can see it's a 9. So not a gem mint 10, I would have liked that, but 9's still cool. This is a beautiful card. And the most important thing is I whooped Lil B's ass. So sorry, buddy. You got to pay for my grading. But nah, it was good fun. I really appreciate Lil B and his dad Brian are great people, and they put this whole thing together. It was really cool. So thank you guys. And yeah, this was cool, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. So that's it. That is my challenge. I won it. Stoked. I'm a competitive person. But now we're going to get into the details of tag grading. I'm going to show you 5 other cards I got graded and really talk about what they're doing and how great it is. And I think it's really cool, and I think you'll be interested in it. So stick around. Okay, so now that challenge is out of the way, we can really go deep and talk about tag grading and what they're doing and what I think about it. Are they better than PSA? Are they better than BGS? Should all of you just run out and grade with them? We're going to talk about all that. But one thing I want to make sure is very clear right away. I am not sponsored by them. They have not paid me. This is not an ad, nothing. I didn't get these graded any faster. I paid for it. This is all, I'm going to say exactly how I feel. I'm not influenced by them at all. But I am excited with some of the stuff they're doing, so I thought it'd be fun to talk about. What we'll do is just talk about the whole process. I got to, do their submission. Everything is just really, really thought out. That's the one thing I'll say about them. It seems like they've studied all the grading companies and they thought about all the issues, and they've really tried to make everything really, really easy to use and just detailed and just, you can just tell from their packaging. Everything's just beautifully designed and, just really cool. So the one thing I wasn't able to record, I didn't know if I was making this video or not. So when I submitted these cards, I didn't do the whole video about the submission process. So I'm just gonna have to tell you about it. You have to go through one of their drops, so you have to follow them on Instagram, and they'll let you know when there's a drop, and you can sign up and you can get your cards basically into their system. And then they charge you right away, and that's the difference between PSA and them is you get charged before you get your cards graded, which I kind of like. I mean, PSA doesn't charge me till I get my cards back, but at that point I've forgotten that I've done this, and it's kind of weird for me to owe money later. I'd rather just get it out of the way and pay early. So I do like that you pay early with Tag. And then once you enter your cards in their system and you've signed up for an account, they send you a submission kit. Now this is really cool. For those of you who have graded with other companies, they tell you how to submit your stuff, but you got to do it all on your own. You got to get your sleeves, you got to get your rigid card holders, you got to make sure the cards are clean, put them in cardboard, pack the box, really hopefully get it to them okay. Tag was like, no, we're going to take that out of your hands. So what they do is once you got your cards in their system and you pay for your submission, they send you a kit, and it's this really, really dope box that's padded, and inside the box you have all the supplies you need. They send you the rigid card holders. They send you these really nice penny sleeves that have tabs to pull the cards out. Everything is padded and compact. So once you get your cards in there, you put it in, you zip it up, and you mail it back to them. It was a long time ago, but I think they give you the shipping as well. So you don't have to worry about, printing a shipping label or any of that. And so that was really nice. That was, the first thing that I was like, wow, these guys have really thought about this. My one concern is, and, I have this concern with any company that comes into the grading space, and because I saw it, I was part of, the 2021 PSA shutdown where these grading companies got overwhelmed by too many people sending them stuff, and all of a sudden they couldn't grade all the cards that came in. And with Tag doing everything this detailed and beautiful, I hope that if they do open up the queue and everyone can come in, they have enough staff to handle that, to send out that many submission kits and all that, because it seems overwhelming if they were to get the numbers even in SGC. I think SGC does something like 800,000 cards a month or something like that. That's a lot of submission kits. So I'm assuming the people at Tag know that, and they're going to be prepared. As they ramp things up, they'll have enough people to handle this. But it does seem kind of daunting with that much detail. Not to mention those kits must be expensive. So that's my fear. But as of right now, it's great. So submitting was wonderful. Once they get the cards, their website's really, really easy to use. It tells you, where you are in grading. I think it took 14. So they told me it was going to take 14 days. This is a negative thing about Tag that I noticed. PSA always under promises, I guess. They always tell you, your cards will take 90 days, but you'll get them back in 60 a lot of times. So they don't want you to be sitting there waiting for your cards. Tag told me 14 days, and I think they went over a little bit. I think they were still at their place at 14 days. So I almost wish they would have told me 30 days and then sent them back in 14 days. Just, it's cooler to get things early and expect them later. So that was my one thing. It did take a little, they pushed it right to the edge of when I was supposed to get it back, and I would have liked, maybe they tell me a little longer and I get them back early. That would have been cool. Yeah, so submitting, website, it is very it tells you, where you are, and then when they do send it back to you, you do get an email that will tell you your grades if you want to know them, but you don't have to look at them if you don't want to. You have to click on them to see the grades. I did look at these just because, I knew I was making a video and stuff, but you can do blind reveals. And like I showed you when I opened the other one, they're all individually wrapped, so it's really cool to do the blind reveals. Yeah, so now we're going to get to this part. I'm going to show you what I got graded. I tried to send them in a variety of UFC cards. I sent them, a 2009 Topps Round 1 card. I sent them, a card for my PC, a Gilbert Burns rookie that, I really, really love, so that one I'll keep for me. I sent them, I think, a Donruss 2022 Donruss rated rookie laser card, select card. I just tried to send them a bunch of different, variety of sets to see how they would grade them and, how they judge them and stuff like that. And, and one other thing I did, I cracked a PSA card. I got an Islam Makhachev 2022 Prism card graded by PSA, and I wanted to see how it would compare with tag. So I cracked it and sent them that. So that'll be really interesting to see how they compare. So we're going to open this up in a second and look at the grades and just talk about the slabs and the pop reports and all that stuff. Should be really cool. Stick around. Be right back. Let's take a look at these cards. They also sent me, when I got this, they send you this it's like a little cheat sheet. Basically tells you everything great that Tag is doing. So I'm going to refer to this because it kind of helps me talk about all the things that they do. It talks about their grading system, how they use, computers to grade things, all the other different stuff about their slabs and stuff like that. So this is just a little cheat sheet I'm going to use over here to kind of, refer back to tell you what they got going on. So let's open this up and see what we got. So as before, just really, really cool packaging, and then you can see the top of the case tells you, how you use your phone to look up your grading report. We're going to look at the pop report for all these cards in a bit. I'm going to go to my computer and talk about it because it's easier for me to do on a desktop than a phone, but it's incredible. It's going to blow your mind what they do with the pop reports. This tells you how to authenticate your slab to make sure, it's, authentic, which is a big part of grading. I mean, I haven't really talked about that yet, but I mean, when you're getting stuff graded, you're trying to protect the card. You're trying to, make sure people know it's authentic and, give it a value because of the grade that it has on it. And, so all that stuff is really important and goes into why you use a grading company. So, the authentication thing is really important. Hopefully they don't, get in trouble for grading, a fake card or something like that. But it seems like they're really conscious of that, and we'll see that they have to build a reputation is what it is. They really just have to keep doing really cool stuff, and people will just be more and more enthused about them. So once again, you get this really cool case, and I have 5 cards, so you have 5 cards in there, all individually wrapped. Again, packaging just beautiful, And I really, this stuff's important, It shows they care, and it's just really cool. We're getting this stuff graded because we want, things to display. You want the people that making these things really care about how they look and how they're presented, and Tag really seems to care about that. So I have no idea which card is which, so we're kind of just going to go through and just see where we are. So here's our first card. Now, I will say, when we get to the Islam Makhachev, which is the one I cracked from PSA, I want to do that one last because I want to talk about their pop reports and stuff like that. So that'll be a good lead-in for that. So if I see it's the Islam Makhachev, I may just move it over and go to the next one. But here's our first card. And this is, okay. Oh, well. First card is a select. This is an Aljamain Sterling. This is a card I pulled. I wanted to send them a select card, and this is a cool one. This is from the retail. This is the teal and pink. It's the numbered one, the one you could get numbered from retail out of 49. So really cool card. I was excited to pull this. Select retails. I'm a huge fan of it because you can get cards like this. And yeah, and you know, Aljo's champ, you know, who knows what happens with him and O'Malley. If he beats O'Malley, I mean, people really got to start respecting this dude. So very happy to have this card, and let's see what we got. 3, 2, 1, a 10. We got a tag 10. So let's see if you can see it here. It just has all the details. Hopefully you guys can zoom in and see that, but it just says Aljamain Sterling 2022 Select number 57 concourse level teal and pink prism. You know, everything is really nicely spaced on the label, and like I said, I really like how it's like kind of an invisible label. You know, it's like when you're looking at like this, you're just looking at the card. You're not looking at the label, but if you want to know what the card is, you just do that, which is really sick. I mean, it's such a great idea. It is, you know, one of the first things that have always bothered me about slabs and when I display them is that the label can contrast the card. I really don't like, you know, I don't like SGC labels, I don't like BGS labels, and PSA is okay. Tag thought about that and then made these like beautifully etched, you know, slabs that where the card is what's important. You know, this is basically a one-touch that has invisible grading on it, you know? And then the back, I think this is how you can authenticate. I believe it says on here. Let's look at our little cheat sheet. We'll read more about the slab too. Proof and security tech. Digital security measures are embedded into every slab seen on the back. Use the smartphone proof app to instantly verify tag's authenticity. So, I mean, that's a way I think for them to track it, to make sure people aren't like cracking and resubbing, and just to make sure it's authentic. So that's pretty cool. That's some really high-tech stuff. Card ID, all the necessary metrics for identifying a card, including name, set, number, and variation, are all listed on the slab. This is really cool too. UV resistant acrylic. Tag uses a UV and abrasion resistant thermoplastic acrylic that is the highest clarity optics available. I will say these things are beautifully clear, and one thing that SGC is the worst about it is the scratching. Like people, you know, move these things around, you get scratches on them. I'm big on photographing cards, and when you photograph a slab that has scratches on it, it looks terrible. So if these things are as scratch resistant as they say, that's a big selling point for me. So yeah, and then they say an ergonomic form designed with the radiused edges to maximize in-hand comfort and maintain an extreme durability and interlocking stability. So here, we'll open this, and you know, they give you your own sleeves, which is also really nice. PSA doesn't do that either. And let's see if you can see it, but like the slab is just really, really nicely designed. It's like kind of rounded off, and it has a weight to it that's really nice. That seems a little heavier than PSA, but not as big as BGS. I feel like the BGS slabs are too big, so these things look great. I'm a fan for sure. So yeah, I'm keeping this for me. I'm very happy I pulled it. It's a 10. I think Aljo's a really good fighter and happy to have that. So there we go. Aljamain Sterling, Select, Teal Pink Prism, Tag 10. Next one. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Oh, this is the Islam. Okay, so we're going to take this over here, do that one last. Okay. Next one. Okay, this is my Gilbert Burns. This is for the PC. You guys know Gilbert Burns, one of my favorite fighters. This is his Purple Prism Rookie. Always wanted his Prism Rookie. I found that I think I bought this as a single. Just wanted the lowest number one as I could afford. And yeah, it's a dope card. And it got a Tag 10, another Gem Mint 10. That's amazing. That's another one, you know, purely for my PC. Holding on to that. That's such a dope card. This is numbered out of 149. Here, we can take it out of the sleeve, just so you guys can get a good look at it. There you go. Very cool. You can see through it like that. And yeah, pretty happy with that. This is going pretty well. So their grading scale, they tend to they didn't copy, but they went with the PSA model, which I think is a smart thing. I'm not a fan of 9.5s. I think 9.5s for SGC and BGS kind of ruin it. Like, I want 10s. I feel like it gives them a reason to not give 10s. So I don't like the 0.5 system. I know PSA has 8.5s, and I think Tag does as well, which is fine. I just don't want 9.5s. I either want a 9 or a 10, and that's what they went with. So 2 10s, and as far as the grading, I'm going to show you when we do the pop reports. The way they grade is very transparent. They tell you exactly, it's a number-based system. They look at the edges, they look at the corners, they look at the surface. Everything gets assigned a number. That number adds up, and that's what they give them. So it's really, really transparent to how they get to this grade. So it's cool. You know, again, it's smart. It's what we get frustrated with all the other places is how did they get to this grade? You know, Tag tells you exactly how they get to this grade. Okay, next one. This should be either a Donruss laser or an old, oh, it looks like the laser. I think this is Ian Gary. Oh no, this is Greg Dawson. Sorry, I forgot what I sent in. So this is a Greg Dawson rookie. This is a teal laser. Again, just wanted to send them a different set and see how it graded. And this got a 9. Okay, so this one got a 9. You know, I'm sure. See, the cool thing about this is, again, I'm going to show you in a bit when I go on the computer, but I'm going to be able to find out exactly why this got a 9. I mean, how many times have you sent stuff to PSA and you're like, why did it get a 9? The fact that you can't find that out is extremely frustrating, and, you know, Tag makes sure you understand exactly what it is that got this a 9. So, you know, I'm not super hyped that I got a 9. I wish I would have got a 10. It's numbered out of 25. It's a really low numbered card. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give this away. I'm going to give this card away at the end of this video. I'll tell you, you know, I'm sure it's just comment if you want it. You know, it's something I think would be cool for somebody to have, especially any Grant Dawson fans out there. And I want people to see what these slabs are like. So yeah, wait to the end of the video, and I'll talk about how to win that. Now this should be my Topps 2009 Round 1 Rashad Evans rookie. I wanted to see how they did with an old UFC card. And you know, these cards are really hard to grade. You know, you're really happy if you can get an 8 or a 9 on these. They very rarely ever 10. You know, they're so old, and if they haven't been graded at that point, they probably have been beat up pretty good. So I'm not expecting a 10 at all with this one. But I do love these cards. They're some of my favorite cards. So you got Rashad Evans. Who is he punching? Brad Imes. And this is Rashad's rookie card. And we're going to see how they do with vintage UFC cards. It got an 8. Okay, well, like I said, you know, an 8 with these cards is pretty good. That is, you know, not bad. And again, like, we're going to be able to go on the pop report and see exactly why this got an 8, but not shocked. You know, like I said, you know, these Topps round 1 cards tend to be 8s or 9s. If you see a 10, it's really, really rare. So perfectly happy with an 8. You know, this one too. I'm going to give this one away as well. So stick around to the end, and if you want to win this card, slabbed, tag 8, Rashad Evans rookie, stick around to the end of the video and I'll tell you how to win it. And our last but not least is the Islam Makhachev. Now the reason I wanted to do this last, because this is the one I cracked out of a PSA. You can see the label right there. Now this got an 8. I thought this was a perfect card. I thought this was going to get a PSA 10. So when it got an 8, I was like, man, what did I miss? So that's why I wanted to submit it to Tag, because now I'll be able to look at their pop report and see photos of all the defects on this card and really find out why it got, you know, this grade. And who knows, maybe it'll get a better grade with Tag. I have no idea, but, you know, I'm very interested to see what a cracked PSA card gets from here. So we had a near mint 8, and with Tag we got an 8.5, which is a near mint plus. So it actually went up half a grade, so that's pretty cool. And again, you know, I definitely am missing something because neither one of them gave it a 10, and I thought it was a 10. The centering looked great, the surface looked great, the edges look great, so I'm definitely missing something, and with Tag, I'm gonna be able to find out exactly what it is. So the reason I want to do this card last is I want to go now to the computer. We're gonna look up all these cards, and I'm gonna show you these pop reports that they send with your grades, with your cards. And it's incredible. It's so detailed. It's gonna blow your mind. So let's go over to my computer, check it out. So this is the Tag website. Like I said, you could actually use your phone for this. If you just want to scan the QR code on each slab, you can find these grading reports through that. I wanted to use a computer just because it's easier for my video. So if you come to the website and you go to the little guy right here, which will bring you to your account, and you scroll down, and there's my order of 5 cards. Click on that, and there's all 5 cards. They don't show you the grades. Oh, actually, they do show you the grades because it's clicked on. You can have that clicked off, which is what it usually is, and that way you can not find out your scores if you don't want to. So I'm not going to go over each grading report for each card because this video is already long. So I was just going to pick one card, and I figured that Islam Makhachev is probably the best card because that's the one that I sent into PSA, and I literally had no idea why it got an 8 when I got it back from PSA because you get no information from PSA. Now let's compare what you get from Tag when you get your cards graded. This is the grading report you get for each card that you submit with them. This is insane. Okay, first you get a high resolution photo of the card. You can zoom into this and zoom out, etc. And this is really cool. So if you have the slider right here, this is the surface defect transparency slider, and you bring it down, and it makes an embossed version of the card that you can see all the little defects in the surface of the card. Now, again, compare that to PSA where you get 0 information back. You get this right there that tells me a lot of stuff about the card that I couldn't see. And then you go down, and this is your pop report. The pop reports, obviously, since Tag is just getting started, a lot of your stuff is going to be the first card graded because they just haven't graded much, especially in terms of UFC cards. So, I'm the first in rank, first in chronologically, population 1 of 1. That's just normal for this. Now, your grade summary, this is where it's really amazing. Okay, so this 850 right here, that's the grade I got, and it tells me right now that the front got an 850 and the back got an 850. So there was neither front nor back was what brought it down. It's even on both sides. So then it breaks down, what each front and back got. The centering was 994 by 946. Now these are at 1,000, so the centering was pretty good, which is what I thought. I thought the centering was fine. Corners the front got 1,000 and the back got a 975, also really good. Surface got an 830 and a back got an 843. Now that is where, this card had problems. It was in the surface, which again, that's what I figured because everything else looked great on the card. So, the surface, when these places, do these grading, they look at it with basically a microscope. So there's things that you can't usually see. So that's where you get dinged a lot of times is with the surface. And then the edges are 1,000 by 974, also really good. So really it was the surface. And so if you go down from there, it breaks down this right here. It shows you the centering, basically gives you numbers for each side. So you can compare 49 by 50, that's very centered. 49 by 50, also very centered. And then you can look at the back. You have 42 by 57. The back centering wasn't great, actually. The top is 28 by 71. So the top and bottom on the back is actually really not great centering, which is why, let's see, it got a 946 over here, so that's a little low. So, that's something that I think PSA actually doesn't really grade too hard on back centering, but I think really what got this card was the surface more than that. But, it gives you all this detailed information. I mean, I don't even know what half this stuff means, but if you want to dig in, you can find out everything. And this shows you every defect on the surface, and that's the front, that's the back. But even better than that, you can come down here to surface details. And again, you have the slider so you can see things. And this is incredible right here. Okay, so each one of these things is a defect in the surface. Now all these things are in normal, like most cards have print lines and pit marks and stuff like that. Those are things that don't really mark you down that much. Honestly, you could have most of this stuff and still get a 9 or 10. But this is the one that's very unique. Ink and surface defect. That's a big deal. So that's the one where I really want to know where that happened because that's what really brought me down, I bet, to the the 8.5 that I got. So you see one that you want to check out, you just hit view. It looks like it's by his right arm being raised. Oh, that's the U in the UFC. So it's right there. If you zoom out, okay, yeah. So we're going to go back to this picture, go up here, and find that exact spot, which I think is right in here. So zoom in, and if you can see it, it's right there. That is what got that spot right there. That is what brought my grade down, and I completely missed that. And now I know. Now I know why this card is not a perfect, 10 or a 9. It's because in the U of the, the UFC behind Islam's head, there was they call it an ink surface defect. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I didn't see it, and that's what it is, and that's, right there. I mean, that's incredible that you can have that information because, with most of the other grading companies, you just don't know. You get your card back and you have to try to look at it and guess. So that's huge for me. That's really a game changer. I really love that they do this. Any information you can get back really helps you, understand, how to judge your cards even better. So just to show you the rest, the corners, which were great, it shows you each corner. You can get rid of these little guides and see the corners are very sharp. Some of them don't look very sharp, but you'd be surprised. I mean, this is really zoomed in. So those are like really, really good corners. The total front corner's got 1,000. That's perfect corners. Back corner's got 975. And, again, it shows you, maybe it's that one's a little soft or something like that. I'm not sure exactly why it's not perfect, but, what can you do? Shows you all the edges. Again, you can take these off and look at them. Really amazing stuff. And then the back corners, same thing. See all your edges, back edges. And, it looks like these are a little rough, but again, I really don't know exactly how they judge this stuff. Oh, it looks like it's still loading. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so those are the back edges. And then at the very bottom, you get graded card images of your card slabbed up. You can download these. There's like a whole bunch of different versions. You can download a JPEG square image, which is good for eBay, Instagram, Facebook. You can do a vertical image, which is good for Story, Reel, and TikTok. You can download all the images in a large, high-resolution version, and then the same thing in the back. Really cool. Again, if you want to use those to sell your cards, very easily downloadable and put them on eBay and sell them or whatever. But this is just fantastic. This was really what made me very excited about Tag and what they're doing. And I think, the other companies are going to have to figure out how to compete with this because this is just really like a game changer when it comes to grading. So tell me what you guys think. So there you have it. Tag grading. Doing really, really cool stuff. The slabs are beautiful. That pop report, all the detail about how they grade, stuff like that. I really think, these guys at least are, them coming into the market is making, PSA and BGS, they got to step up their game if they're going to compete with these guys because of the things they're doing, which I think is, necessary. You got to have people pushing boundaries. PSA is making a ton of money. They're not going to change anything. So, you need someone like this that really sees the problems and tries to, say, okay, we can do this better. So, very excited about them. In the title of my video, I said, is tag grading better than PSA? So I should answer that question. And I will say, at this point, no. And it's because of one giant thing that they don't have yet, which only comes with time, and it's reputation. PSA, SGC, and BGS have been around for 15 years, and grading is based on trust and just time. And Tag's really going to have to slowly build people like really being excited about their slabs and their process. And as that goes, hopefully they don't make any mistakes. They don't grade fake cards or have a backlog where they can't get cards back. As long as they can keep doing things the way they're doing it, within time their reputation is going to grow and the value of their slabs are going to grow, because that's the problem right now. As you guys know, with me and grading is a big part of my collecting experience, but the way I do it is I grade with PSA. I grade cards that I think will add value. If it gets a 10, it will add $50, $100 or whatever. If it gets a 10, I usually sell it to make that money and buy more cards. If it gets a 9, I keep it for my personal collection. Most of my personal collection is PSA 9s. I can't do that with Tag right now just because their value is not high enough. These cards, they don't sell for much more than the raw cards. Because they're just unknown. People don't know who they are. They don't, have a reputation yet. So they need to build that. And, when they do, trust me, I will go with them all day because I love everything about it. But because of the way I use grading with my collecting, I need a company where it really adds value, and they just don't do it yet. So, with cards that I know no way I'm selling it, it's just for my PC, I will use them. I think these are just beautiful to display. I can't wait to photograph these, honestly, and see how they photograph. It is a little weird, sorry, that I have a white table and it is hard to see the label because it's white. But like I said, I kind of like that. It really just shows the card. But yes, oh, and then the giveaway. I have this Grant Dawson teal rookie, rated rookie, out of 25. And I have this Rashad Evans rookie card also, tag 8, tag 9. If you guys want these cards, comment below. Tell me what you think about all this. What do you think about tag grading? Do you think you'll use them? And then also comment which card you want to win. And then in about a week or so, I'll take all the comments with each person who wants each card, and I'll do a randomizer and I'll send it to you. So yeah, in the comments below, tell me which card you want. Tell me, if you like tag, if you think, you're still going to keep with who you like using. And that's it. Hope you guys found this interesting. Like I said, grading is a big deal to me. So a newcomer coming in who I think could really do big things was really cool and something I wanted to talk about. I will say also they seem really receptive about the UFC card market. I think they like the idea of getting into these little niches, I think it's good in the UFC card market because I don't think there's as many flippers. It's more people just collecting fighters they like and stuff. And that's perfect for this because like I said, these are just really beautiful display items right now. You're not really flipping with these, but you could be soon. I think it's a good time to get UFC card people into this. So let me know if you have any questions. Follow Tag Grading on Instagram. You can see other cards that are grading and stuff like that. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.